Howdy folks, and welcome back to War Thunder with the mighty Jingles. Probably not the kind of video you were expecting to see me put up today, what with World of Tanks patch 9.8 going live yesterday, and the Armoured Warfare Early Access becoming available yesterday, but first I have to play them before I can do videos of them. So today, we're getting some War Thunder, and this is my favourite kind of War Thunder. It's an air simulator battle. The training wheels are off. This is all about pure 100% skill and patience and planning. This is pAvO, and he is flying the P-47M1 Thunderbolt, which is a relatively recent addition to the American aircraft lineup in War Thunder. What's special about the P-47M? What makes it different from what many consider to be the definitive version of the P-47, the D? Well, it's an effort to come up with a faster version of the Thunderbolt. 3 test prototypes were built, which were basically late model P-47Ds, fitted with a Pratt & Whitney R2857C engine and the General Electric CH5 turbocharger. The performance of the prototype was excellent. Managed a top speed of 761 kilometers per hour. That's 473 miles per hour. That's a phenomenal top speed for a prop-driven aircraft. And it was rushed into production to counter the threat of the new German V1 cruise missiles and the new German jet fighters. 130 of these were built. The first arrived in Europe in early 1945. But they did have some teething problems in the field, and they didn't see much action until the war was all but over. All 130 of the P-47Ms produced were delivered to the 56th Fighter Group in Europe and were responsible for all 7 of the 56th Fighter Group's jet shootdowns. 12 were lost in operational crashes, resulting in 11 deaths, 2 of them unfortunately after Victory in Europe Day. Only 2 were shot down in combat, and they were both shot down by ground fire. Other than the improved speed, the only real significant difference between the P-47M and the P-47D was that, in an effort to save weight, the P-47M wasn't quite as well armed. It only had 6 Browning M2 50 caliber machine guns instead of the usual 8. Now the P-47M that is available in War Thunder that you can see pAvO flying here does have the regular 8 50 caliber machine guns, because this isn't just any old P-57M, this is a P-57M1RE, and it's modelled after the aircraft flown by First Lieutenant George Bostwick, who flew this aircraft with its very, very distinctive camo pattern and was one of the 56th Fighter Group's confirmed Me-262 killers while flying this aircraft. Now this is of course a simulator battle. It's not arcade, it's not realistic, and pAvO actually spends the first 17 minutes of this battle, which lasted 38 minutes. Don't worry, you're going to be getting the edited highlights. For the first 17, almost 18 minutes of this battle, he didn't even pull the trigger on his guns. He's just jockeying for position against the enemy aircraft, which in this map are Japanese, and the overwhelming majority of the enemy fighters, as you can see by looking at the team list up there, which he wouldn't have had available to him when he flew this game, were the very formidable Japanese N1K Nakajima fighters. Now, as you can see, because it's a simulator battle, you don't get any of those target markers over enemy aircraft. You get the target markers over the enemy ground targets, the ships, the carriers, things like that, but not the aircraft, so you have to rely on the old Mark I eyeball, and it can be an absolute nightmare trying to detect a tiny little speck on the horizon and identify it. Is it just a piece of dirt on the monitor? Because I can't tell you how many times I've been watching these simulator battle replays and thinking I've seen an enemy aircraft, and no, it just means I need to clean my monitor. So what sort of things can you do in a simulator battle to improve your chances of spotting an enemy aircraft before they spot you? Well, you can do what real pilots did. Keep your head on a swivel. Constantly be looking around the aircraft. The overwhelming majority of World War II and even Korean War fighter pilots who got shot down never saw the aircraft that killed them. You have to keep your head on a swivel and keep looking around in all directions, rolling the aircraft from left to right to clear your blind spots and ensure that nobody is trying to sneak up on you. Communicate with your team. Use those quick combat chat messages to indicate to the rest of your team when you have spotted an enemy aircraft, or when you are attacking or being attacked by an enemy aircraft. The rest of your team may not be able to make out the enemy aircraft, but they can see where you are and come to your assistance. Also, keep an eye open for tracer, not just from other aircraft, which is a surefire indication that somebody's shooting at something, but also keep an eye out for friendly and enemy flak. If the AI is firing its guns, you can be sure that they have spotted something. Because trust me, the AI in War Thunder has much better eyesight than you do. Don't forget, all of those AI cruisers and destroyers are covered in people scanning the sky looking for things to shoot at. Use them when they start shooting at something. Go over and investigate, and you can bag yourself a kill. Of course, that's all far easier said than done, and I am much more comfortable watching a War Thunder air simulator battle than I am playing one. Tank simulator battles, no problem. Tank simulator battles, a lot easier to do well in. Air simulator battles, on the other hand, they're for people who are very, very good at War Thunder. You have full aircraft controls in simulator battles. Things happen to your aircraft that don't happen in arcade. All of those reduced speed warnings that you get in arcade are completely meaningless. You're never going to rip the wings off your aircraft in arcade because you're going too fast, but you will do it in simulator battle. Oh, very, very definitely yes. Particularly when your airframe has taken damage from enemy fire. Exceeding the top speed of the aircraft can have lethal consequences. You can stall the aircraft in simulator battles. You can put the aircraft into a spin in simulator battles. In fact, I've shown you War Thunder air simulator battles where excellent pilots have deliberately put their aircraft into stalls and spins and then recovered from them in order to shake aircraft on their tails. Hands up, everybody out there who would know how to do that. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sure there are some of you out there who do, but you are definitely in the minority. The level of skill involved in successfully flying a fighter aircraft in War Thunder simulator battles is far in excess of the level of skill required to fly in arcade and even realistic, which is what makes it a pleasure watching somebody who is very, very good in one of these simulator battles. So far, it's been a pretty quiet war for pAvO. I certainly haven't seen a single enemy aircraft yet. I've seen people shooting at enemy aircraft, but I haven't seen any. I don't know if pAvO has seen any, but what we're going to do now is we're going to skip ahead to 17 minutes into this battle when pAvO gets his first definite confirmed sight of one of these enemy fighters. Still can't actually see the enemy fighter, although you can see the Spitfire who is being engaged by him. And shortly you're going to, there he is, P-51 coming down to assist, trying to swat that guy off his tail. Spitfire's being hit, he's leaking oil all over the place. I still cannot actually see the enemy fighter. Oh wait, there he is. P-51 right on his ass. He's managed to evade. There he goes. He's gone vertical. pAvO built up a lot of speed in the dive, but it was a bad approach. So rather than trying to dogfight with a Japanese fighter, turns that speed back into altitude, trying to set himself up for a loop to bring him round again on, and I've lost him again. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. He's climbing up into the clouds. He's trying to bring the nose of the aircraft round, but he is not going to. No, he's undershot once again. Japanese aircraft with superior maneuverability. pAvO once again turning that speed into altitude, ensuring that he doesn't end up the next victim. Didn't have as much speed that time, however, and he is getting perilously close to stall speed. He's bringing it round again, building up some more speed. No idea at all where that Japanese fighter went. pAvO still hasn't fired a single shot in this match. I think there were actually two N1K2s, the Japanese fighter aircraft, involved in that dogfight, although I never saw more than one of them at the same time. One of them has managed to get a kill on that Spitfire pilot, the one that we saw in trouble, leaking oil earlier. He is down. And pAvO's team is now down to 3 aircraft. And he hasn't fired a shot yet. And we're 15 minutes into this game. This game lasts 38 minutes, by the way. He hasn't fired a single shot. He's seen 1, possibly 2 enemy fighters. He hasn't managed to land a shot on either of them. And he only has 3 aircraft left on his team, including himself. The odds are heavily stacked against him. Now, I have reviewed this replay multiple times, and I cannot see the fighter that pAvO is zooming in on here. He's clearly spotted something, and if you can see him, well, good for you, but I just... nope. Can't see him. No. Oh, wait. No, there he is. There, do you see him? He's just popping into the gun sight now. He's going to zoom in again. There he is. There. That's an N1K2 Nakajima fighter, and he has not seen pAvO coming, so wait for it. Wait for it. Get close. Get close. Ensure the kill. Any second now. Here we go. He knows he's been shot at. He pulls it round into a dive, and he manages to shoot his elevators off. And with that guy in a near vertical dive, and the elevator's gone from his aircraft, there is no way he's going to pull out of that dive. It's fatal. Yep, he's got him. There's his first confirmed kill. Well, a couple of minutes later, they're down to 2 aircraft, Pakistan Hound and the P-51D5 and pAvO, and they're still loitering over friendly territory, so he keeps looking down occasionally, looking at the flak that's coming up, giving away the positions of enemy aircraft, and that's when he spots a smoke trail. Pakistan Hound is over there. If it was a friendly aircraft, there'd be a target marker over it. That has to be one of the enemy aircraft. They're seriously outnumbered. That's probably one of the bombers, injured, bomb load gone, and trying to return to his airbase. I'm not entirely sure which one it is. I think it's the captured B-17E. Now, of course, the bomber has AI gunners, so the bomber pilot doesn't even need to know he's under attack. His gunners opening up on pAvO's P-47 will indicate that he is in trouble. There he goes, spraying the wings, going for the engine shots. He's set one of the engines on fire, blue flame. That looks like a fuel tank fire. That fire's going to be spreading across the wings, doing more and more critical damage to the control surfaces. The B-17 is heeling over and going into a dive that does not look like he's going to recover from that, as that fire takes out more and more of the control surfaces and makes it more and more difficult to control the aircraft. And come on, yep, there we go. He's done it. There's his second kill. Captured B-17E, so that's leveled the odds slightly more in pAvO's team's favour. There's still only him and Pakistan Hound in the P-51D5. That's pretty much all the good news, however, because there are still 4 aircraft on the enemy team. 2 of them are N1K2s, very, very dangerous fighters. One's a J7, that's that weird-looking Japanese pusher fighter aircraft with the prop mounted at the rear. And one G8N1 bomber, and the G8N1 can be a tricky target to attack because it's got some nasty defensive firepower, 20mm cannons. However, you can't really afford to hang around because the team is losing. The enemy team has more than twice the tickets, and they do still have a bomber. And oh, something just happened. Well, in a bit of a plot twist, if you look at the combat messages there, you'll see that Pakistan Hound in the P-51D5 has just claimed his second kill, and it's the enemy J7. Unfortunately, he went off alone, and he just got himself into at least a 2-on-1 dogfight, and so he has just been nailed by one of the enemy N1K2s, which means pAvO is now the last pilot left on his team. So, well, pAvO knows that there is now an N1K2 at low altitude, around about 4.5 kilometers ahead of him. And the only advantage he has is his high altitude performance. The N1K2 was a good aircraft, but it wasn't as good at high altitude. In fact, it was one of the only Japanese aircraft in the closing stages of World War II that actually had the performance to climb to the same altitude as the B-29 Superfortress, but it wasn't very good at that kind of altitude. So pAvO knows that he's outnumbered 3-1. He knows that he's probably not going to have to worry about the G8 bomber at high altitude, and one of the N1Ks is at low altitude after killing Pakistan Hound's P-51D5. So he's gaining the altitude, he's making the most of the strengths of the P-47, and of course he only knows where one of the M1Ks are, so he's scanning around him and he's looking for the other one in case this guy is up here too. He is now over enemy positions, so he no longer has the advantage of being able to follow the tracer from friendly flak in order to tell him where enemy aircraft are. He's going to have to do this the old-fashioned way with the Mark 1 eyeball, and there's one, possibly two of them. If you can't see them, I can't really blame you. I had to rewatch this video about 4 times before I spotted what pAvO spotted instantly. One of them is a damn sight closer than the other one, however, and they're both at lower altitude than him, but one of them is climbing. Do you see him? Come on, surely you see him now. There he is. There. They're going for... Oh, that was close. That was dangerous as all hell. The N1K2 has some very powerful 20mm cannons, but no harm done. The N1K2 appeared to flip over, go inverted, and drop into a dive in order to evade pursuit. pAvO, of course, gaining more altitude, flipping the aircraft around. There was another one down there. I am positive I saw another dot in the clouds there. That's the one good thing about having the altitude advantage, particularly when there's a lot of cloud cover. It is much, much easier. And there was definitely another one behind him. He is constantly clearing his 6 to try to spot that guy who was coming up to meet him. But when you are above the cloud layer like this, it's much easier to spot a black speck against the clouds than it is against the ground clutter itself. So he does have that going for him. He does know that he is at a higher altitude than those 2 enemy fighters. Where is the guy on his 6? I can't see him. I just cannot see him. I have no idea where he is. Oh no, I do see him. He's right there. He's about 2 kilometers behind him. He is being pursued by one of the M1K2s. You can just see that black speck. There he is. There he is. Straight 45 degrees to the... In fact, he's raising the tail of the aircraft now, but you should be able to see him now. There's a quite definite aircraft chasing him. He's being pursued by one of the M1K2s. Of course, the downside now is that he only knows where one of the enemy aircraft are, and you can guarantee that both of those enemy fighters... And the longer he focuses on the guy behind him, and you can see he's getting a bit nervous here and he's checking around in front, because that other N1K2J is liable to be making an approach on him. So he's turning to engage the guy on his tail. This is the guy who's given his position away, and it's another head-on pass, and this is going to be hellishly dangerous. Incoming... Oh, he's done it! He's done it! He's sawn his wing clean off. That is a definite confirmed kill. That's his 3rd kill in this Guadalcanal campaign simulator battle here in War Thunder. He didn't get away scot-free that time, however. There's some big old holes in his right wing, but no critical damage. He still has full control over the aircraft. However, he has suffered structural damage, so he's going to have to watch the top speed of this aircraft. The wing is going to be weakened. He's not going to be able to pile on the kind of speed in a dive that he would have been able to without damage to the wing. But the good news, 3 down, 2 to go. Of course, first he has to find them. No idea where that other N1K2 has gone, but we did see in the combat messages earlier that the G8N1 bomber was nailing a whole bunch of battleships, cruisers and destroyers. That's why pAvO's team has so few tickets left and the enemy team is winning. And if the G8N1 has been knocking out ships, he's going to be out of bombs. So he's going to be heading back to his airbase. So pAvO reasons that if he loiters around the enemy airbase, dangerous though that is with the anti-aircraft fire from the enemy airbase, maybe he can get himself a nice juicy bomber kill. And sure enough, there's the G8N1. It's on the runway. He's right down there at the end of the runway. And pAvO, well, you've got to go for it. Anti-aircraft fire or no. He's got to watch his speed though. That wing is damaged. At the same time, he really needs to minimise the amount of time that he spends over the anti-aircraft guns from these enemy ships and the enemy airfield. And he is coming perilously close to suffering major structural damage here as he lines up on the cockpit of that G8N1. The G8N1's gunners are not staying idle, however. He scored some hits, but it was absolutely nothing critical. That means he's going to have to take it round again, and he's still taking return fire, and it looks like some minor damage in his left wing as well. Yep, there's a big old hole in the wing. No damage to the control surfaces, however. He does still have full control over the aircraft. However, not only does he now have to take this thing around again in order to try to get that G8 and run the gauntlet of the airfield's anti-aircraft fire, but that's right, the enemy fighter pilot now knows exactly where he is as well, so he can't take his time doing this. He's got to nail that guy on his second pass. All the time he's spending loitering over the enemy airfield increases the chance that the AA is going to shoot him down. Every run that he makes on the G8N1 increases the chances that the G8N1's gunners are going to shoot him down, and all the time he's doing that, it's giving the enemy fighter pilot in the N1K2 the opportunity that he needs to close in and swat him out of the sky. Now, when pAvO made his first attack run on that G8, that guy had literally just finished rearming and repairing the aircraft. I don't know if you noticed, but the aircraft was busy being repositioned right at the end of the runway when pAvO made his first attack run on him. So the G8 pilot now also has a choice to make. He is ready to take off. However, he did take some damage from that strafing run. So is he going to sit on the runway and hope he can be repaired in time? Maybe rely on his own anti-aircraft guns and the anti-aircraft flak provided by the airfield, or is he going to try to get the thing in the air so he's not a stationary target and perhaps try to take advantage of the anti-aircraft cover provided by his ships? What choice is he going to... Is he still... He's still at the end of the runway. He's right on the grass, right at the end of the runway there. So he's taking an awful risk here. Is it going to pay off? pAvO's got a much, much better approach angle this time. Here comes the anti-aircraft fire. Gone for the cockpit. Hit the engines, hit the wings. He's set him on fire. He's done it. Now get out of there. He's set the guy on fire on the ground, and that fire, of course, is going to spread along the wings. It's going to set extra engines on fire, hopefully ignite the fuel tanks. It looks like he's got an oil fire burning there, and he's taking more and more and more critical damage. So pAvO is... Yeah, there it is. He's got his 4th kill. One more, and he's an ace in one flyout in simulator battle. He's gone from 3 against 1 to 1 against 1. It's just him. I've no idea what his ammunition situation's like. He did use a lot of ammunition on that B-17 earlier. But that's one of the advantages of these 50 caliber armed American fighter aircraft. While the 50 cal machine guns, they pack a bit of a punch. Not as much punch as a 20 or 30 millimeter cannon armed aircraft, but they can carry a lot more ammunition. So I have no idea what his ammunition situation is like, but he's probably still got enough to deal with one N1K2 Shinkai Nakajima fighter. Of course, once again, he just has to find him, and the enemy pilot has the advantage. He knows exactly where pAvO is, or where he was. pAvO is damaged, nothing critical, but it's not going to take much more damage to the wings to knock them off. And because he had to take out a stationary parked G8, he's lost his altitude advantage. So he's got to be really, really nervous right now, scanning the ground clutter and the skies above him and behind him and all around him, trying to find that lone enemy fighter. He keeps zooming in ahead up there. Once again, if he's seen something, I haven't. No. This guy's got the eyes of an eagle. This is another reason why I just could never play simulator aircraft battles in War Thunder. Tanks, yeah, no problem. Aircraft, no. I'm just not good enough. But I do love watching people who are good enough. He's heading towards the enemy ships. And the only reason he's going to be heading towards the enemy ships... Oh, I see him. I see him. There he is. He's just popped into the reticle of the reflector gun sight. He has found the last surviving enemy pilot. Unfortunately for him, he's found the last surviving enemy pilot. Actually, no, those are his ships. Oh, that's a bit of a turnaround. Those are his ships. So, the flak's opening up on that enemy fighter. Has he noticed that pAvO is coming up behind him? The thing is, even if this guy is checking his 6 to look for black specks on the horizon, those little puffs of flak popping up all over the place, well, they're black. And the thing about an aircraft silhouetted against the clouds is it's black. So, and look at that. That's not going to make it easy for this guy to clear his 6 and check for an aircraft coming up behind him. I mean, look at how thick the flak is there. I mean, pAvO has seen him. I've seen him. But this flak is so thick, it's making it really difficult to follow the target. And pAvO knows he's there. If the enemy pilot didn't see pAvO coming before that flak opened up, well, the chances of him actually being able to successfully clear his 6... There he is. It's a real game of cat and mouse here. pAvO's almost... I mean, he doesn't want to start shooting at this kind of range. That flak is getting awfully close. Don't know what kind of damage this guy's actually taking from the flak, and pAvO is almost in shooting range. And this guy is still flying as if he has no idea there's something behind him. But he's going to be clear of the flak soon. In fact, I think he's almost clear of the flak now, so... all he has to do is take a look behind him. No, he's still in the flak, and that's going to come in handy. Come on, pAvO, have him. He does not know you're there. You've got to get him before he gets clear of that anti-aircraft fire. And I'm pretty sure he's clear of the anti-aircraft fire now, and it looks like he's spotted pAvO. Yeah, he knows he's there now. Damn it, it was so close. He almost had him, unawares. Alright, where's he gone? He went into the dive. I've lost sight of him again. Where did he go? Oh, this is so frustrating. pAvO's going for the altitude advantage. Smart move. You don't want to... Oh, there he is. There he is. There he goes. No, it's flak. I keep seeing the... Oh, it's flak. It's flak and it's smoke and it's... I have no idea where he's gone. I don't know how people do this in Simulator Battle. I really, really don't. But I have nothing but respect for them. Where did that guy go? It looks like... No, I don't think pAvO knows where he is either. But there's somebody's firing at something down there. Oh, where is he? Oh, there he is. There he is. Come on. Come on. Lead the shots. Lead the shots. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. You can do it. Come on. Come on. It's only ammo. You've got plenty of it. Oh, that's going to be close. Oh, he's hit him. He's hit him. He's hit him. Oh, is it going to be enough? Is it? Where did he go? Oh, I've lost sight of him again. Is it? I didn't see any critical damage. Is it going to be enough to put him down? Come on. This for ace and the win. He's got him. Yes, he did it. There we go. 5 kills. 5 kills in Simulator Battle, despite the video freezing at the worst possible moment. He's done it. He's won. He has... Wow. That's pAvO showing who's boss in the P-47M1RE premium aircraft in War Thunder Simulator Battles, and I really, really do love watching a good War Thunder air simulator battle, and this was one of the good ones, I have to admit. Well done, pAvO, and thank you for sending that replay in. Endlessly entertaining. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.